There exists a frequency at which money doesn't need to be chased. A silent vibration where abundance flows like water following gravity. What if I told you that the so-called rich never learned to create wealth, but rather to become the very frequency of it? Take a deep breath. You're about to remember something your soul has always known. For centuries, they taught that money comes from effort, strategy, sweat, and luck. But there exists older knowledge. A secret kept not in vaults or banks, but in the quantum field itself that organizes reality. A secret so simple that the linear mind cannot comprehend it. Because true wealth is not conquered, it is recognized. At this exact moment as you hear these words, infinite versions of yourself exist in parallel timelines. In some of them you live in scarcity, in others in absolute abundance. And what determines which one you inhabit is not destiny. It's not worthiness. It's frequency. It's vibration. It's the silent language that your energetic field emits every second, shaping the matter around you like a conductor leads an invisible orchestra. Quantum physics discovered something mystics always knew. Reality is not solid. It is probabilistic. It exists as a cloud of possibilities until consciousness observes it and collapses it into form. And the observer is not neutral. They don't just see, they create. Your attention doesn't register the world. It sculpts it. Imagine for an instant an infinite ocean of pure potential. Each drop of this ocean contains a different version of your life. One drop is you struggling to pay bills. Another is you living in natural prosperity. Yet another is you experiencing wealth beyond imagination. All these drops exist simultaneously, and you're not choosing which one to live through positive thoughts or empty affirmations. You're choosing through the electromagnetic frequency that your heart and nervous system constantly emit. The rich people you admire don't have a special gene. They weren't luckier than you. They simply inhabit a different frequency. And at that frequency, the universe responds differently. Doors open before they knock. Opportunities appear before they're sought. Money flows because they became its very portal. You didn't find this video by chance. Something within you already knows it's time to cross into another timeline. Not gradually, not with more effort, but with a quantum leap, an instantaneous frequency shift that reorganizes your entire external reality. And the secret no one told you is this: you don't need to become worthy of abundance. You already are made of it. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a star. You are literally stardust walking on Earth. Scarcity was never your nature. It was just a frequency you learned to tune into. But now, you're beginning to remember. There's a reason why some people seem to magnetize money effortlessly, while others work tirelessly and remain trapped in the same cycle. And it has nothing to do with intelligence, talent, or worthiness. It has to do with the invisible energetic field that permeates all existence and responds only to one language: vibration. Think of a radio. There are thousands of stations broadcasting simultaneously in the air around you right now. Classical music, news, rock, jazz, all coexisting in the same space. But you only hear the one you tune into. If your radio is tuned to 93.5, you don't hear 97.3, no matter how much you wish, no matter how hard you try. The station simply isn't accessible to you at that frequency. Your life works the same way. There's a frequency of scarcity, a frequency of survival, a frequency of constant struggle, and there's a frequency of abundance, of flow, of natural reception. Most people spend their entire lives tuned to the frequency of lack, wondering why abundance doesn't arrive. But abundance is broadcasting all the time. You're simply not on the right frequency to receive it. And here's the part that changes everything. Changing frequency doesn't require years of therapy, hard work, or sacrifice. It requires an internal adjustment, a state change, a recalibration of your nervous system to vibrate in harmony with what you wish to experience. The rich instinctively know this. They may not use these words. They may not understand the science behind it, but they inhabit an internal state of certainty, of confidence, of deep knowing that the universe provides. And that state, not their actions, not their strategies, is what collapses reality around them. If this resonates with you, it's because your soul already knew. You're not here to learn something new. You're here to remember something ancient, something that was buried under layers of conditioning, fear, and social programming. But that never stopped existing within you, like a seed sleeping under the earth, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And that moment is now. Let's dive into the science behind the mystery. Because what you're about to understand isn't magic. It's pure physics applied to consciousness. At the subatomic level, particles don't exist in a single place. They exist in superposition, present in multiple states simultaneously. An electron isn't here or there. It's everywhere until you observe it. And at the moment of observation, the probability wave collapses and the particle chooses a position. This phenomenon is called the collapse of the wave function, and it's the basis of all physical manifestation. Now apply this to your life. Your financial reality exists in superposition at this exact moment. There's a version where you're in debt, another where you live comfortably, yet another where you swim in unlimited abundance. All these versions coexist in the quantum field as unmanifested possibilities until your consciousness, through your emotional and energetic vibration, collapses one of them into physical manifestation. And here's the secret that changes everything. You don't collapse reality with what you think. You collapse it with what you feel, with what you vibrate, with the electromagnetic field that your heart emits with every beat. The HeartMath Institute conducted decades of research and discovered something revolutionary. The human heart generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times more powerful than the brain's. This field extends up to 3 meters around your body and communicates directly with the quantum field. When you feel abundance, not as hope or desire but as a present state, your heart emits a specific frequency, an energetic signature that resonates with the frequency of money in the universal field. And the universe responds, always, without exception. Because at the quantum level, everything is information vibrating at different frequencies. What you call solid matter is actually condensed energy vibrating slowly. The chair you sit on, the wall beside you, your own body. Everything is energy in different states of vibration. And what you call money is also energy vibrating at a specific frequency. When you tune your internal field to that same frequency, something extraordinary happens. You don't attract money as if it were separate from you. You become its very magnet. The difference is subtle but profound. Attraction implies separation. You here, money there. Magnetism implies identity. You and money vibrate at the same frequency, and through resonance naturally converge. Neuroscientists discovered that your brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real experience. When you imagine something with rich sensory details, seeing, hearing, feeling, the same neural areas are activated as if it were actually happening. And each time you activate a neural circuit, you strengthen it. Every time you experience scarcity, worry about bills, fear of not having enough, anxiety about the future, your brain strengthens the neural circuits of lack. And these circuits become highways, automatic pathways that your brain travels without you noticing. You begin to filter reality through scarcity, to see only evidence of lack, to always collapse the same limited version of your life. But when you change the internal frequency, something extraordinary happens. New neural circuits form. New highways are built in your brain. And suddenly you begin to perceive opportunities that were always there but were invisible to your previous frequency. Synchronicities multiply. The right people appear at the right time. Paths open where before there were only walls. You're remembering, not learning. Because at a deep level of your soul, you always knew this. You just temporarily forgot while learning the rules of the three-dimensional game. But now, something is awakening. A cellular memory. A knowledge that transcends this life and comes from deeper levels of your multidimensional existence. The quantum field, also called the quantum vacuum or zero-point field, is not empty. It's filled with infinite potential. Every cubic centimeter of seemingly empty space contains more energy than all the visible matter in the universe. And this field doesn't judge. It has no preferences. It doesn't decide who deserves abundance or not. It simply responds to the frequency you emit, like a perfect mirror. If you vibrate scarcity, by habit, by conditioning, by fear, the field reflects scarcity back to you. If you vibrate abundance, not as fantasy, but as truth felt in the body, the field reflects abundance. Not eventually, not maybe, always. Because this is the fundamental law of the universe, resonance. And here's the part the mind resists. You don't need to know how the money will come. You don't need to have a detailed plan. You don't need to force anything. You just need to maintain the frequency. And the universe, infinitely more intelligent than any mental strategy, orchestrates 1,000 invisible paths to bring manifestation to you. The rich instinctively know this. They don't worry about the how. They trust the field. They inhabit internal certainty even when external evidence hasn't arrived yet. And it's this vibrational faith, not religious but quantum, that keeps the portal of abundance permanently open in their lives. Because true faith isn't believing in the invisible. It's vibrating as if the invisible were already visible. It's collapsing the probability wave through the frequency of your being, not through the effort of your mind. And when you understand this, not intellectually, but experientially, everything changes. Because you realize you were never separated from the source of creation. You are the very source experiencing itself through a unique perspective called you. Now we arrive at the turning point, the moment where knowledge transforms into revelation, where theory meets direct experience, where something within you clicks and nothing goes back to how it was before. You're not creating abundance. You're remembering that you're already made of it. Stop for an instant. Feel this in your body, not as an abstract concept, not as a philosophical idea, as a visceral truth that vibrates in every cell of your being. Every atom that forms your body was created in the core of an ancient star. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, iron, calcium, gold. All the elements that compose your flesh were forged at temperatures of millions of degrees in the incandescent heart of giant suns that exploded in supernovas so that you could exist. You are literally made of condensed light, of solidified stellar energy. You didn't come from scarcity. You came from the most radical abundance that exists, the creative explosion of the universe itself. The Big Bang didn't happen out there billions of years ago. It's happening here, now, in every beat of your heart, in every breath, in every thought that emerges from the infinite field of consciousness. And yet, at some point in your journey, you learned to feel separated from this source. You learned that you needed to fight, compete, deserve, prove your worth. And each time you accepted that lie, you lowered your frequency. You disconnected from the infinite field of possibilities and began operating from survival. But survival is an illusion, a low frequency created by fear, and fear is just the absence of remembrance. It's temporarily forgetting who you really are. It's confusing the wave with the ocean, the form with the essence, the character with the consciousness that animates it. If this resonates with you, it's because your soul already knew. At this exact moment as you breathe, there's a version of you in a parallel timeline living the reality you desire. That version isn't worried about money. They don't doubt. They don't feel unworthy. They're not trying to manifest anything because they already are the manifestation. They simply exist at the frequency of abundance like a fish exists in water, natural, effortless, inevitable. And the difference between you now and that version isn't time. It's not hard work. It's not worthiness earned through sacrifice, it's just vibration. It's the frequency at which you choose to inhabit this second, this eternal now where all creation happens. Time is an illusion of linear consciousness. Past and future exist only in your mind. In the quantum field, there exists only now, and in this now, all possibilities coexist. You poor, you rich, you sick, you healthy, you alone, you loved. All versions vibrating simultaneously in the infinite ocean of potential. And which one manifests in your experience? The one you resonate with, the one whose frequency you emit consistently, not occasionally, not when you remember to do affirmations, but as a state of being, as energetic identity, as vibrational truth of your nervous system. The universe doesn't understand the language of words. It doesn't hear your affirmations. It doesn't read your wish lists written on special paper during the new moon. The universe only understands frequency, vibration, the electromagnetic field that emanates from your heart and radiates through the space around you, communicating directly with the quantum field. You can repeat 1,000 times, I am rich, I am abundant, I am prosperous. But if deep in your chest there's a tightness when seeing the credit card bill, if there's a heavy sigh when thinking about the future, if there's a subtle tension in your shoulders when imagining paying bills, then the frequency you're emitting isn't wealth, it's lack. And the field, perfect in its neutrality, responds to lack with more lack, not as punishment, not because you don't deserve it, but because that's the law. Resonance. The universe reflects back to you the frequency you emit, like a perfect echo, like your own voice returning in an empty canyon. Keep listening. Something within you is awakening. And when you truly understand this, when it hits you that you don't need to convince the universe of anything, don't need to deserve anything, don't need to prove anything, a deep release happens. The claws of struggle loosen, the tension of effort dissolves, and what remains is an opening, an empty space, a vibrant silence. And it's in that silence that magic happens, because manifestation doesn't come from noise. It doesn't come from mental agitation. It doesn't come from doing more, planning more, trying more. Manifestation comes from alignment, from state of being, from deep rest in the certainty that you already are what you seek. Every particle of the universe already recognizes your name. Every photon of light carries information about you. Every quantum wave awaits the collapse of your consciousness to take form. And what you're about to understand, not intellectually but cellularly, is that you were never separated from the source of creation. Separation was always a useful illusion, a game that consciousness plays with itself to be able to experience the return, the search, the journey. But now the journey is coming to an end. Not because you achieved something out there, but because you remembered something in here. Wealth isn't out there waiting for you to find it. It's here, now, in the space between your thoughts, in the quietness between your breaths, in the invisible field that permeates every millimeter of the universe and your body. You're not learning to manifest. You're unlearning scarcity. You're releasing layers of conditioning, liberating beliefs that were never yours, dissolving energetic contracts you signed in moments of fear and forgetting. And this unlearning doesn't happen by force. It doesn't happen by fighting against your negative thoughts. It happens through surrender, through acceptance, through deep recognition that you don't need to become anything because you already are everything. The rich know the secret no one told you. You don't chase money. You become the empty space where it naturally accumulates. Like gravity attracts matter without effort. Like light attracts attention without trying. Like silence attracts sound. Like emptiness attracts fullness. And when you become that space, not as technique but as truth, the universe has no choice but to fill you with what corresponds to your frequency. Now let's transform this knowledge into direct experience, not as a mental exercise, not as forced visualization, but as deep energetic anchoring in your field, as recalibration of your nervous system, as vibrational adjustment that reprograms how you interact with the quantum field. Take a deep breath. If you can, close your eyes. If you can't, just soften your gaze. Let peripheral vision expand. Feel the weight of your body, wherever you're sitting or lying. Feel the temperature of your skin, the fabric of clothing touching your skin, the rhythm of your heart pulsing in your chest. You're not just learning about the quantum field, you're inside it now. You always have been. And in this moment, we're going to make a conscious adjustment, a recalibration, a frequency shift that your body will remember even after this moment passes. Breathe deeply through your nose. Count to 4 as air fills your lungs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 3 seconds. Feel the air still inside you. And now exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing all tension, all fear, all worry. Let everything out with the breath. One more time. Breathe deeply through your nose. 4 seconds. Hold. 3 seconds. And exhale slowly, releasing, liberating, allowing. Now imagine, or simply feel, a golden light descending from infinity above your head. Don't force the image. Don't try to create something. Just allow it to appear. This golden light is the pure frequency of abundance, the essential vibration of universal prosperity, the same frequency that permeates the stars, the planets, the fabric of space itself. Feel this golden light touching the top of your head, warm, soft, loving, slowly descending through your face, relaxing every muscle, dissolving any tension around your eyes, your jaw, your neck, allowing each cell to surrender to this frequency. The golden light descends through your shoulders, and as it descends, it dissolves any weight you're carrying, worries about money, anxiety about the future, memories of lack, beliefs of unworthiness. Everything dissolves in the touch of this light, like mist disappearing under the morning sun. Now the golden light reaches your heart, and here it expands. Like a gentle wave of radiant warmth, your heart begins to pulse at this frequency. Golden, abundant, tranquil, confident. Each beat of your heart now transmits this frequency to the field around you. Breathe within this light. Feel as if every cell of your body is drinking from it, nourishing itself, remembering its true nature. You are not scarcity. You never were. You are abundance temporarily forgotten of itself. Stay here. This is the point where time stops. The golden light continues descending through your body, through your abdomen, dissolving any knot of tension, any tightness related to survival, any ancestral fear of not having enough. Everything dissolves. Everything releases. Everything transforms into this light. Now allow this golden light to expand beyond your physical body, creating a field around you, an electromagnetic field of abundance that extends 1 meter beyond your skin, 2 meters, 3 meters in all directions. You're no longer contained in your body. You are the field. You are the frequency. You are the very vibration of abundance manifested in human form. Breathe in this field. Feel its texture, its density, its vibrational quality. This isn't imagination. This isn't fantasy. Your heart is now emitting a real electromagnetic field, measurable, and this field is communicating with the quantum field that permeates all existence. Now, maintaining this frequency, bring to your consciousness the sensation, not the image, but the sensation of what it would be like to wake up every day in this vibration, without worry, without lack, without fear, just a deep and silent confidence that you're aligned with the infinite flow of the universe. What would it be like to open your eyes in the morning knowing that money flows naturally to you? What would it be like to walk through the world without tension in your shoulders? What would it be like to open your wallet without tightness in your chest? See a bill without anxiety? Think about the future without fear? Don't visualize specific things. Don't worry about values or numbers. Visualize the feeling, the bodily sensation of already living this, the energetic texture of being someone for whom abundance is natural, normal, expected. Remain in this field for a few more moments. Breathe this reality. With each inhalation, you're absorbing more of this frequency. With each exhalation, you're releasing the old vibration of scarcity. Your nervous system is recalibrating now. New neural circuits are forming, new highways in your brain, new connections that didn't exist before this moment. And in a few days, you'll begin to notice changes. Subtle at first, an opportunity that arises, an idea that comes from nowhere, unexpected money, a door that opens, a person who appears, a synchronicity that makes you pause and smile. But don't wait for these things with anxiety. Don't keep checking if it's working. Just maintain the frequency, return to it daily, and observe, with serene curiosity, the universe orchestrating. Breathe one more time within this golden light, feeling your entire body vibrating at this new frequency, feeling your field expanding, feeling the direct connection with the infinite field of possibilities. And when you're ready, there's no rush. Slowly bring your consciousness back. Move your fingers, your toes. Open your eyes gently, but don't abandon the frequency. Take it with you. It's now part of your energetic field. It was recorded in your nervous system. It's active in your heart. Because what just happened wasn't imagination. It was a real energetic reprogramming. Your heart emitted a new frequency, and the quantum field registered it. The probability wave began to collapse, and in the coming days and weeks, you'll see the physical effects of this vibrational change. And so we arrive at the end that isn't an end, at the closure that is actually an opening, at the last block that is the first step of a new journey. You're no longer the same as when you began hearing these words. Something changed. Perhaps you can't name it. Perhaps it's not visible yet. But at the deepest level, in the energetic field that organizes your reality, a seed was planted, an adjustment was made, a frequency was activated. The quantum secret that the rich know and no one told you isn't a 5-step method. It's not a technique you apply and abandon. It's not a ritual you do once and expect results. It's a state of being, a maintained frequency, a cellular memory that you were never separated from the infinite abundance of the universe. And now you carry this knowledge, not just in the mind, but in the body, in the cells, in the energetic field that extends around you and silently communicates with everything and everyone. You don't need to chase money. You never needed to. You need to become the magnetic space where it naturally accumulates. And this doesn't happen by force. It doesn't happen trying to control every variable. It doesn't happen forcing the universe to bend to your will. It happens through release, through letting go of resistance, through surrender to the flow that was always here, patiently waiting for you to stop swimming against the current. The rich don't work harder than you. Many work less. They're not smarter. They're not more deserving. They just inhabit a different frequency, and at that frequency the universe conspires in their favor. Doors open before they need to push. The right people appear at the exact moment. Opportunities multiply, not by luck, not by privilege, but by resonance, by vibrational alignment with the infinite field of possibilities. And now you know the secret, not theoretically, not as abstract information stored in memory, but experientially. Because while you listened, while you breathed, while you felt the golden light, you were doing more than learning. You were anchoring, recording, reprogramming. You're already vibrating differently. Perhaps you won't notice immediately. Perhaps tomorrow you'll wake up and everything will seem the same. The same challenges, the same bills, the same worries, but something within you changed. A subtle but profound adjustment in your energetic field, a recalibration of your nervous system, a new frequency activated in your heart. And this adjustment will begin to collapse new possibilities into your physical reality. Not overnight, not dramatically, but progressively, organically, naturally, like a seed germinating under the earth before sprouting visible on the surface. It might be an idea that arises from nowhere while you shower, an insight that comes during a walk, an unexpected contact that reappears after years, an opportunity you would never have perceived with the old frequency, a subtle but significant change in how you relate to money, lighter, more confident, more open. Observe these changes, but without anxious expectation, without obsessively checking if it's working, with serene curiosity, with tranquil presence, like a scientist observing a quantum experiment, knowing that the act of observing with expectation collapses the result differently than observing with loving neutrality. This video didn't end, it continues within you, in the frequency that was activated, in the field that was adjusted, in the memory that was awakened, and you can return to it whenever you need, not as content to consume repeatedly, but as a portal to a frequency, as an anchor for a state of being, as a reminder of who you really are. Each time you breathe consciously, you can return to this golden frequency. Each time you feel scarcity trying to pull you back to the old vibration, you can remember, this is just a frequency. It's not who I am. It's not my essential nature. It's just an old pattern trying to perpetuate itself, and I have the power to choose a different frequency. Now, in this moment, in this breath, return to this message whenever you want to remember who you are, not as entertainment, not as escape, but as recalibration, as fine-tuning, as return to the frequency you now know to be your true nature, because you are not the struggle, you are not the lack, you are not the worry. These are just temporary experiences, waves on the surface of the deep ocean that you truly are. You don't need to seek anything more. Everything you wanted was always you. The wealth you desire isn't in distant bank accounts. It's in your capacity to inhabit its frequency now, in this moment, in this body, in this breath, in this presence. And when you inhabit that frequency, the universe has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Because you're not a beggar at the gate of abundance. You're not a supplicant begging for crumbs. You are the very portal of abundance. You are the frequency manifested in flesh and bone. You are the quantum field experiencing itself through a unique perspective called you. Now go, but not as someone who watched another video, not as someone who consumed more content and will forget tomorrow. Go as someone who crossed through a portal, who took a quantum leap, who consciously chose a new timeline, who activated a frequency that was dormant and now pulses alive at the center of your being, and observe reality reorganizing around you, silently, without fanfare, without drama, but inexorably, because the laws of the universe are non-negotiable. Frequency generates resonance. Vibration attracts correspondence. Internal state collapses external reality. It always was this way. It always will be. You just temporarily forgot. But now, you remember. And when you remember who you really are, not as concept, but as visceral experience, everything changes. There doesn't need to be effort. There doesn't need to be struggle. Just alignment. Just permission. Just openness to the flow that was always here, waiting for you to relax enough to receive it. The secret is simple, devastatingly simple. You don't attract abundance. You recognize it, you allow it. You become transparent enough for it to flow through you without resistance. Like light passes through crystal, like water flows through a river, like the universe breathes through all things. You are that. You always were. And now, You know, this is not the end. It's the awakening. If your soul recognizes this truth, honor it now. Click subscribe, give this video a like, and believe. Allow the universe to continue the work that began here.